21st, nationally known as Indigenous Peoples Day. And it was such a gorgeous day. You can't help but like wake up and think to yourself that, you know, Canada, the United States is recognizing a day for Indigenous Peoples Day, and you can't just help but wake up smiling, especially if you're Indigenous. You're just like, okay, today's a good day to be Indigenous, they say.
Indigenous Peoples Day is every day, but today is beautiful.
Real good. Good for the soul.
Handgames is an Indigenous game. Handgames comes in a lot of different forms. They call it stick games in Cree territory, and in the western coastal nations they call it lahal. In our language we say nachain. Nachain qat al qanach out, and the dene in Yukon territory they say nadzuai. And it's a game of trickery, fun. You know, there's times when you can call it mind games because you're trying to trick someone as to which hand holds the rock.
Drummer out of Yukon, and over here this week they're doing hand games, and I think they're going to be here for a couple more days. I'm not sure how far they're going, but I'll turn the mic over to him. Let's give Wilfred a really nice Beaufort Delta welcome. Wilfred.
Thanks, Ray. In my language, I was saying, this is an Indigenous day for everybody. I'm here with a team of 6 of us. We're here doing a Hand Games tour through Tsiigehtchic Tribal Council and the Western Arctic Youth Collective. This weekend, we're going to have a tournament for the Hand Games people who are just teaching and learning. But right at this present moment, we're actually going to be over at the gazebo just over here. You won't be able to miss us because we're about to make some more noise right now. Our friends from Northern Slavey territory of Fort Good Hope, they have accepted a challenge, an old traditional challenge that we're going to have play a game of Hand Games right now over here.
My mom actually got me into Hand Games. She said, hey, do you want to be a part of this Hand Games? And I had no idea what it was and no idea what to do, and she said you put a token or a stone in your hand and hide it, and they have to guess which one it's in. Sound pretty easy.
They'll try and tell you what hand is holding the rock. And then there's all kinds of ways and styles of celebrating that they missed you.
It's just the energy and the atmosphere. It helps you feel alive. It's like a moment. Your mind clears and you're just like in that moment, then and there.
It's a fairly simple game when you break it down. It's just essentially like a guessing game, a very elaborate guessing game. Like you're really trying to get inside your opponent's head. It's almost like, you know, like you're in the mind of this other person. You're like, okay, they guessed this way last time, so they're probably gonna do it this time, or they're probably gonna think that you're gonna switch it up, so you better stay on this side. And you have all these drummers behind you supporting you, and that rhythmic double beat is just like in your ear, and it's just like doof, doof, doof.
It's good energy when you're on the mat. It's like you make people in the stands get into the game even when they're not. Once you get on the mat and start playing, you don't want to stop.
After COVID took its toll on the entire world, and to wake up on Indigenous Peoples Day after that big long pandemic, and to see people get together around the drum, to see all the cultures that were here in Inuvik at the time and share their songs and their dancing and stuff, it was just like, it's exactly what we all needed. That was the medicine that people have been wanting and looking for.
When we were playing against Fort Good Hope on Indigenous Peoples Day, it was really relieving for me that I was allowed to play and that we were going to be playing together, and I felt very happy and energetic, and you know, I had a lot of fun. And I think that it's kind of unfair that in many communities they don't allow women to play.
It's normal for us to have women play and drum, and they're a huge part of our game at home, like judging, drumming, playing. We respect other people's traditions, and we expect them to respect our tradition in the Yukon.
I honestly think the women bring a lot of good energy to this. Where we're from, we hold our women up, keep them balanced, because we follow our women. Our women are our leaders, you know? They hold our communities up, those women. They don't get enough credit for what they do for us.
It's been great to have Angela on the team, because she's been a strong advocate for us to open up and to talk. And
I'm glad she came with us, because I knew she was iffy about it, right?
I'm just happy they get to play in Yukon and just have fun. Like, women have to have fun too.
The game was really fun, and in the end, our Yukon team ended up winning. It just felt like a good moment for not only for me, but for like women, and just to be like proud, and like just to also showcase that we can have fun, and like that it should be for everybody. Afterwards, Wilfred got up and he spoke and thanked everyone for watching us and for playing and stuff like that.
Some nations, this game was made for men. And they allowed our friend who come up here, Angela Code, to play with us.
When Alyssa Carpenter had asked me to make a team, and amongst the team, realizing I'm coming to Gwich'in territory, I came to realize really quick that it was very important for me to bring a woman.
I love to play hand games too, so I'm really happy that in the Yukon, not only are women allowed to play, they're really supported. This drum, it was made for me. It was made by Elder Amos Dick from Ross River. One of my favorite stories, he was at a Dene Nation gathering, and they had a debate on whether women should be allowed to play hand game or not. And they were like, well, let's ask the oldest elder here. And it happened to be Amos Dick. And he's kind of deaf, so they had to really yell at him. And they were like, hey, Amos, you think women should play hand games? And he stood up and he looked around and he said, well, woman's gotta have fun too.
It is just so important for all genders, all ages, youth and elderly and women and men to play this, and it almost the duty and responsibility for cultures to exchange each other's cultures.
Cultures change and shift all the time, and what we deem as appropriate or acceptable also shifts and changes over time. And if Dene people continue to say that hand games is for men only, not only are you excluding women, but you're also excluding non-binary folks. And you know, like, for that already marginalized community, to further exclude them from an aspect of their culture, I think it's just kind of hurtful and wrong.
Masicho, haicho.
Being more inclusive would help our communities become healthier and happier. And you know, why wouldn't you want that?
We're out here to share with our culture, and we're here to share with the women, the men, that we want you guys to be a part of this game. This game, it brings us together.
Aklavik was awesome, man. Elderly women that were laughing and having fun, shaking their hand at us.
To teach the communities and then for them to be excited to come to Inuvik and play in a tournament, it feels like the goal they set out will be complete.
A lot of beautiful souls in all these communities just welcomed us with open arms. And then watching them have fun and laugh and come together as a community was great.
They're all just so beautiful and lots of kind people.
The young fellow in Tsiigehtchic, he's pulled me aside and he's like, hey, do you want to make a team? And I'm like, yes, I do, but you and your community need to make a team and come to Inuvik.
That midnight train is winding low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. The moon just went behind the clouds. I'm so lonesome I could cry.
And I'm stoked. Look at all these Tsiigehtchic and Aklavik. There was just so many cultures and so many people.
I could be wrong, but I really believe we're doing the first ever tournament with Tsiigehtchic and Inuvik and Dene. And this is really, really exciting.
And that's exactly what we're aiming for, is to draw the attention as to what Handgames can do and what people it brings together and what smiles it brings and what energy it brings. And
Zun and E3, let's have you guys on the mat.
I like being surrounded by the drums when you're on the mat and you're the only one and you just feel that beat. Like your team's sitting right behind you drumming and then you just feel pressure putting on you. It's different.
My favorite part about hand games is it's actually usually when I get caught. They catch me, I submit my rock, I sit down, and I watch them just celebrate with this, what I think is the spirit inside of them. It's like you're actually genuinely meeting a human being for who they are as an Indigenous person.
Oh, when you get up there, you just dance like no one's watching, man. That's what I do. You know, I scream as much as I can for my players too, so they can get in it with me. It's a different feeling when you're on the mat and you're playing and you're grabbing a drum. It's beautiful, man.
It's like that one lady in Aklavik when the boys surrounded her and she just stopped and like turned around like, oh my God. Oh, that was great.
Okay, everybody. I say I appreciate each and every one of you, and I feel good to see you. My heart feels really good. How you Tsiigehtchic, in our way of thinking, this is a good day. It was a really, really big blessing to actually come up here and share a bit of the culture of the drum with everyone. Because the whole purpose of this was to bring you guys together around the drum. But a goal of ours here was to leave something behind before we go home. To leave the knowledge, the game, and the chance to play for everyone, women, men, elder, and youth. This is what brings us together. We're gonna call up two young boys that really, these guys had, they saw something in them. They saw just the joy and the pride that everyone has in this game. Diesel. Kendon. Know you two boys, the younger girls, the younger boys listening. It's a different time now. Man, I had such an emotional week playing with you guys. My little brothers. Our days, we grew up with old timers. Like genuine old timers. You hardly see them around. When I mean genuine, I mean those ones born on the ice, born on a riverbank, born under a tree. They're leaving us now. It's up to us. Up to all of us young people to take it on. We got to keep it going. We see it in you. We see it in many of you. Thank you for letting me look at you, all of us.
All week.
These boys want to gift you something. You guys say something you want.
You guys inspired me. I wanted to give you a drum.
Come on, do what you're doing, young man. Here, you don't stop. Drum that beat. Do a weasel. You guys keep on drumming, practice. Because we're going to come back. You hear me?
You know, a lot of us are just learning how to take this back. A lot of us are just learning how to use it again, huh? When you guys take these home, you don't go put it on the wall and leave it there. As beautiful as the gift it is, you don't let it sit one place too long. You use it. That's why they're giving it to you. You make noise. You guys take this game. You look up to Dale. You look up to Darius. You guys host your games. You can play without us. We don't have to be here for you guys to sing and drum and have fun. We are so honored and privileged to come up here and give that opportunity to actually just share this time together. This may have very well been the first ever Tsiigehtchic tournament with inclusive of your neighbors and the people on this land, the Inuvik. And you share it not just with your people, but with everyone.
Let's give these boys a round of applause, guys.
This is why I'm kind of doing what I do, just to try to bring healing to my people. You know, Handgames is healing. I'm still doing my healing, really. And it's one of my most important things that makes me happy is Handgames. There's nothing more that makes me more happy than Handgames. Makes you want to cry sometimes. It's just so powerful.
A few of the elders are saying that, oh, our young people need this, our young people, this has lifted up a lot of souls, which is why I play Handgames. It's just like I always say, I have two different families, my family at home, and then I have a Handgames family.
I remember Wilfred running into us at the Canada Game Center. My son's like 3, 4. What's the first thing they do, you know? They start playing Handgames in the hallway. And that's what it's all about. It's us passing it to them, and hopefully that will continue for generations and generations.
I have to say thank you to the Western Arctic Youth Collective and the Tsiigehtchic Tribal Council for making this making this possible for myself and my team, and possible for their communities too.
Alyssa's amazing. Alyssa organized this whole trip, and she has a really great team with her as well. They're powerhouse women who see the value in Indigenous languages and cultures and the empowerment of Indigenous youth.
And I hope that the men continue to support the women, because it's just better together, and it makes the game more interesting. And I think we're all coming into it in a good way. So, masi.
This is going to be a memory of a lifetime. To be an old man one day, if I'm blessed that, and to think that the Tsiigehtchic are coming to Yukon to play Handgames, or the Inuvik, or there's Yukon teams coming up here to the Bayfort Delta region to play Handgames, and to know that we were a part of starting that. Be an old man saying, you know, this was always a blessing, and this was always a long time well-deserved for a nation that deserves to be happy.
Let me get back in my body.